everybody, it's Charisma of Charisma's Corner, and we are in the little pink barn. And today we're going to work on a quilt called Grape Jelly, and it's a 2-block quilt. And I call it Grape Jelly because sometimes I have a hard time naming things, and I happen to use all different kinds of greens and purple in my original sample. But you can see behind me, this is a very versatile quilt that works in several different colorways. And one of my sample makers, she made this for one of her family members and used these shades of brown, beige, green, oatmeal, and it looks absolutely beautiful and I love it. I love the traditional colors and it worked up so nicely. And I've also seen this made in batiks and prints and different things. So I wanted to show you this quilt because the blocks just sort of speak to each other and work together really well in the quilt. And they're pretty simple blocks and they go together pretty quickly because each block is assigned colors rather than my normal style of, using a ton of colors and having to cut 20 SKUs for each block or something. So the first block we'll work on is this sort of 4-patch block right here. And in the instructions, because again, they're simple colors, you just have to do a strip set. I'm just using scraps today of different things that I had on my cutting table. I made my strip sets, then cut my units to sew my 4 patches together. So I have 2 of those units here that I cut off of that strip set, and we're just going to go ahead and sew those together. And if you press to the dark, you should be able to nestle those seams in the center. Okay, so then when you start putting this block together, it sort of goes together just like a 9-patch, except for you just want to pay attention to the orientation of, in this case, the red squares, because we want them all to face out. Then I have my pink square for the middle. Again, I was just using random color, so these blocks aren't going into anything except for maybe a miscellaneous scrap quilt, so I wasn't paying too much attention to color. So this is how our first block goes together. So I'll go ahead and start putting those rows together. Okay, and I'll just give those a press really quick. So I'm gonna press these to the inside and then this one to the outside. That way we can nestle those seams. Okay, so we'll set that one aside. And then for block number 2, you need some strip sets. And we're making this star right here. So you need strip sets to make your 9 patches and these setting units that are striped blocks. So you'll need, in this case, I used green and yellow. So you needed some strip sets that have the green in the middle and the 2 yellows. And then you need strip sets that will have the yellow and 2 greens, like this. So I've cut the 4 setting units for those. Once you make your strip sets, you're just cutting those. And then you need 4 9 patches. And so I've cut those, and we'll go ahead and sew one of those up. so now we have the 9 patches done, so we'll go ahead and press that. Okay, so the 9 patches are done. The strip sets, we have some cut squares because we need those to set the block, and now we need half square triangles for the points. So I'm just going to put right sides together. I'm going to use my ruler and a marking pen, and I'm just going to draw my line. And then we're going to sew on 1/4 of an inch on both sides of that line. Okay, so we need 4 sets of those for a total of 8. And now we can start assembling our block. In my case, I ran out of the dark green because I was using scraps, so I just picked up another green that I had in mind. Okay, and here is the layout of this block. So it's a 20 patcher, right? Yes, okay. So now we're just going to go through and sew all of these rows together. And I am just going to do one of these rows at a time, because with so many units, I can easily get them mixed up or turned around, and I just don't want to mess with that. Make sure you're paying attention to the orientation of these striped units. You have to make sure that they're going vertical. Works out. Those simple 9 patches and simple stripes just create this really dynamic star, and they're huge blocks. So the blocks are done, and these make really huge blocks basically, so you don't need that many to make a full-size quilt. And if you wanted to make it bigger, scale it up, make a king size, you could just add a few more rows of blocks, and you can see they go together pretty quickly. So in no time you'll have a quilt. And this kind of looks a little Christmassy. We have a little holiday thing going on, I guess. But I just want to say thank you for joining me for Grape Jelly today. Please like and share. I am trying to create content that you might like and help you along with your quilting journey. So if you have any suggestions for tutorials that you would like to see, please just drop me a comment below. And I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So I'll see you there. Bye.